Hi everyone, normally I wouldn't do an unboxing video as most of these budget radio receivers that I review are just shipped in the manufacturer's boxes, put in a polythene bag and you just cross your fingers that they arrive in one piece. But this feels a little bit different. It feels like it's shipped in some sort of plastic container because the only thing you can see is an actual ridge there. So I just thought it'd be fun just to show this unboxing. So let's open it up and let's see if they've actually shipped it. I can get into it. Actually, it is in a box. Or I should say, it's in a plastic box. That is a first. Let's get this all open. Wow. No, it isn't. That's what it is. This has been sent with a pair of headphones. You had a choice of headphones or something else, can't quite remember what that was now. And then you got the radio itself. I thought that was maybe a plastic packaging going around the radio, but in fact it isn't. So, now we've got the radio, let's start our review. So now we've unwrapped it, let's have a look what we've got to play with. First of all, looking at the headphones, I mentioned there was a choice. In fact, that choice turned out to be either with headphones or without. But the price difference was so small, I thought let's go and get the headphones as well. Now it's a decent make, albeit it's out of the budget range as you can tell, but these are more than adequate for this little receiver. So let's pop these to one side. So, question is, what have we got to play with? Well, it's the Lun-Scheng KK11 multiband radio. It was bought from AliExpress and at the time of recording it cost £11.3 UK or around about $13 US, and that does include tax and shipping. Question, why did I buy it? Well, not to its looks as you can see, because it's very plain design indeed. But I have found that these plain Jane style radios actually turn out to have good performance, and I thought that we might strike lucky with this one. So let's open this up and let's have a look what we've got to play with. Double bags. Well, you get a tiny set of instructions, but they're more than up to the job. And then we've got the receiver itself. Just out of fun, I just translated these Chinese markings, and it turned out to be the one on the left hand side there, that says sound of wheels. I have no idea why. There's some strange things to come out with sometimes. And then on the other side, it says model and then KK11. So what have they actually provided? Well, as you can see, it's pretty compact. It's 120 millimeters long, 70 millimeters high by 27 millimeters deep. Let's get the old mugshot test as we would do on this channel, just for size comparison. There you go. First impressions, well, it's not bad. It's got reasonable build quality. The plastics are pretty decent. So looking at the front, we get a nice large tuning display. And for once, rather than trying to cover all the bands just in one sweep of the dial, they've broken them up into sub bands. That's really, really useful there. A lot easier to actually tune and try and find that particular station that you're after. So let's go for the frequency that they cover. First of all, we've got FM, and that covers between 76 and 108 megahertz. So that covers the Chinese campus radio broadcast at the lower end of the dial. AM, we're looking at 522 to 1710 kilohertz, that's just standard there. And in shortwave, we're covering the full shortwave broadcast spectrum from 3.5 all the way up to 22.3 megahertz. Now, because that's across 9 bands there, hopefully we can have a decent selectivity. We've also got a little power on LED that we'll find out when we actually put some batteries in it. And then we've got our multi-band selector switch there. By the way, that loudspeaker there is rated about 100 milliwatts, so it's not going to blow your ears off anytime soon, but more than up to the actual job itself. So let's turn it to the left-hand side. What we've got here, first of all, is our volume thumb wheel. Interestingly enough, that doesn't combine it with an on-off switch. It is just a volume thumb wheel. Below that, we've got a standard 3.5mm headphone socket, and then below that, we've got a little socket there with 3 volts external DC input if you wanted to do that. Turning to the right-hand side, we've got our tuning thumb wheel and then our on-off switch as well. Little aerial again, that's not bad. It's 360 millimeters long, so hopefully we'll be able to pick up some decent shortwave stations. However, it doesn't swivel, it is just in that one direction. Moving to the rear, a little stand, always useful. And then below that, we've got our little battery compartment. This takes 2 AA 1.5 volt batteries. So what I'm going to do, as we always do on this channel, first of all, I'm going to test it on FM, then medium wave, and then we'll give shortwave a good testing. So let's get started. So I'm going to try it on FM first of all. So I'm going to pop our little aerial up. Make sure we've got FM selected on that little slide switch. There's not much broadcasting below 88 megahertz. So I'm going to try around from that frequency upwards. One little thing I have found this, and you can probably see for yourself, if I don't hold this nice and flat, you can't actually see that FM part of the dial. What's causing that is that the actual dial itself, it's somewhat recessed. So you get a shadow cast on it when you actually try and stand it up. So I'm going to have to do this flat, just so you can see the actual frequencies that I'm tuning to. So let's pop it on. Let's get down to 88 and see what we've got. I'll hold it flat like that. Hopefully you can see that. There's some interstation noise there. That might be off the LED lighting.
Unity roundup, so what's happening? I'm positive that's what he said.
Join non-payers drinking just inside the
One thing I have found, if you turn the volume up by a reasonable amount, it's very distorted. So that might be a consideration if you're looking at purchasing this radio. That wasn't too bad. Picked up quite a few stations. As I say, you did get some interstation noise, which is a little bit surprising. I'm trying some new LED lighting, so that might be the cause of it. So what I'm going to do next, let's try it on medium weight. So move the slider just once. Move the dial all the way to the top there. Let's pop it on. Let's see what we've got. Now, they are shooting quite a few stations by me on medium weight, so we might not pick an awful lot up. But nevertheless, let's give it a try. Let's do it this way. There we go. Pick some noise up from something.
All part of a deal between Israel and Hamas, the group that runs Gaza, and who the UK government sees as
One thing, I can't hold it on stations for too long because I'm going to get a copyright strike off YouTube if I do, so please bear with me with that.
Today, so far, said to have earned around 4.3 crores. So it's not, it doesn't...
A little bit directional.
A fingertip to it, but power and placement was just too good. It was a good move as well.
So same noise again.
England's going to be taking on defending champions Ireland in just over an hour's time.
Gakpo was onside in the builder. As the ball comes in, diving header, flags up anyway.
Now that noise might be my LED lighting. I have changed to a new type just for something to try a little bit different. So I might be doing it injustice, but that wasn't too bad. So what I'm going to do is take it for a test drive on Shortwave. So as normal, I've dropped down to just using one incandescent bulb. That just helps with noise pickup when you're tuning across the shortwave frequencies. Now I'm going to do this test in the daytime, so this will be a real good test for this little radio. I'm going to start around about 11 megahertz because there's not much transmitting below that. So let's pop our little aerial up. Let's try onto number 5, I think that's around about 11 megahertz, and let's pop it on. Let's see what we can find. Hopefully you can see this. You still might pick some noise up off the camera. Unfortunately, I can't do much about that. Let's try it this way, a bit more comfortable. No idea what that was.
Universitetenin rektori 2020 yılda öz adını ütkötmek kararını düşündürüpti. Taşkent'te blogçı Sardor Salimov gösterdi bu proses.
به تلگرام رادیو فردا بسپارید.
در حالی که قیمت اغلب داروها در این
Let's try 13 megahertz. It's fine in 1 and 2 despite the daytime usage here. Let's try 14.85. Nothing much on there. Let's go one more. Well, last one. Let's try 21 megahertz. not much there. To be honest, it found a few. I am giving it a hard test trying to do it in the daytime, and at night time obviously it's going to pick a lot more stations up, but nonetheless it did pick up just a few there. So what I'm going to do is put the lighting back to normal and we can take it from there. So we have the lighting restored back to normal levels now. So what are my thoughts on this little KK11 multiband radio? Well, it's okay for the price. Its performance was reasonable, but not particularly noteworthy. On the plus side, it's nice and compact. That's useful if you're taking it in the field, and it has a nice clear tuning dial. Would I recommend it? Well, personally, I would suggest you look at this, the Toshiba KK9803. I keep coming back to this, but this just has the edge on the KK11 in terms of price, performance and features. So there we have it, it's the KK11 multiband radio. And all it leaves me to say is, as always, I appreciate you watching and I'll catch up with you soon.